Hello, and welcome to the Give My Head podcast. I'm Tim McGarry from the Hole in the Wall gang, joined by my very good friend and colleague,
Damon Quinn.
Michael McDowell, still not with us. Is he still on holiday? Is he? Where the hell is he?
Yep, it's a long holiday.
It's a long holiday. We've let him off too much.
Do you think he's going to come back?
Well, do we need him? That's the question. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't been before, where have you been? Give My Head podcast. Please subscribe and like. We've had all sorts of wonderful guests on. We have a superb guest today. But before we get to our superb guest today, we need to talk about our wonderful new sponsors, Pug Uglies, on Bedford Street, a wonderful bar just opposite the BBC. Used to be our office, didn't it, basically?
Pug Uglies? It has been our unofficial office for many years. Yeah.
Pug Uglies on Bedford Street, run by a good friend of ours called Aaron, who's the manager there. We do lots of do's upstairs. We have the rap parties upstairs. Yes, but they are a brilliant bar, particularly for football and rugger. Ladies and gentlemen, the rugger is starting. The Six Nations. Ciaran Nolan, our guest today, a massive fan of rugby. You couldn't tear that man away from a rugby match. You couldn't.
That'll be me the whole month of March.
Oh, yes.
Every
you love a bit of rugger, don't you?
Every minute, yeah. I become one of those 6-week Ciaran fans. Don't even know the rules of the game. But anyway,
I'm not a rugger fan as well. But no, Six Nations. Well, anyway, if you like your rugby, go to Pug Uglies because they have special offers on. You can get 4 pints of Guinness for 20 quid. I think it's 20 quid. 4 pints of Guinness during all the Guinness Six Nations televised matches. Plus, well, get this, Ciaran, if you mention the Give My Head podcast to the staff, you will get 20% off your food bill, which is not bad.
Happy days.
Wouldn't be bad, that.
That's not bad.
Don't miss the Wales versus Ireland kickoff 2:15 on Saturday the 22nd of February. Book your table now.
I've booked.
Go to hello@puguglies.com or head to the website puguglies.com. An excellent play. Oh, of course, this is Valentine's week as well. Call in for some food and cocktails and the Guinness Six Nations. It is a very good bar. We can recommend it. We go there quite a lot.
It absolutely is.
We do go there.
And run by a good group.
Group. So thank you very much for Pug Uglies for your sponsorship. Go to Pug Uglies. Ladies and gentlemen, we're absolutely delighted to have a special guest on the show. We have been asked by many people to bring people on from Give My Head Peace. We are delighted to welcome to the Give My Head podcast none other than Sandy the barman himself, Ciaran Nolan. Ciaran, welcome. Thank you very much for joining. How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful, mate. You know me.
Listen, yes. I don't want to bring you down, but I know this is early February, so Man United.
Don't do it, Tim. I knew you were going to do this straight off.
I had to go straight to Manchester United because you're a very big Man United fan.
Would you like a football podcast? Because we could do 50 minutes on football if you want.
Yeah, you know.
I prefer rugby. I'm not saying something.
You're still smiling though.
I will support Man United until the day I die. If they go into the National League, which is highly likely at the moment, I'll still be there.
The thick or thin.
I will be there through thick or thin.
It is very thin at the minute, my friend.
It is as thin. It's thinner than me. Yes,
I had to support Man United because my son.
Yes,
Man United
has good taste.
And when he was wee, he just insisted that because he was a Man United fan that I had to be one. Yeah. You see, so I was lucky enough. We were there the last time he's won the league.
The last time you say that like it was
Ferguson.
It wasn't that long ago. But it does seem long for such a big club like Man United. Yeah, but it's not that long ago. Yeah. Well, when was the last time Leeds won it, Tim?
I'm a Leeds fan.
Yes, you are.
We're top of the championship at the
moment.
Have
you seen them win the league?
I haven't. No, well, they did win the league.
They won it in '92, wasn't it? They're the last Division 1 champions.
Yeah, well, my two sons became Man United fans because Leeds were
crap.
Third or second division, so it's really disappointing. My son.
I don't know much about football, but I think from going back to football history, didn't Leeds famously get beaten by Sunderland in 1973?
Oh, that's the FA Cup final, isn't it? That's when the FA Cup final meant something.
I was in my Leeds United kit and still haven't got over the trauma of us losing 1-0 to second division Sunderland. Bob Stokoe, the manager.
But was that when Don Revy and all was still there? Was he still the manager then?
Oh, he would have been 73.
Yeah, 73.
But it was one of those things. I mean, it's taught me something about life because everybody was a Leeds supporter. Everybody was a Leeds fan the day before. But the next day, there were all these Sunderland. It's probably like it is in America now. There's all these people who probably say they voted Trump now.
Aye, but 4 years ago they were voting for Joe. Yeah, all that there, yeah.
There's a lot more Trump supporters now probably than there was before the inauguration.
Anyway, we'll get off football. Ciaran, you're very, very welcome. Obviously you're on stage with us on our tour. Give My Head Peace Live is on tour all over March. Ciaran is on the show.
Yeah.
Ciaran's been on the TV for the last few years.
I have.
But I last heard you, I was lying in bed listening to a podcast about Freddie Scappaticci. And the next thing I went, that sounds like Ciaran Nolan to me. And you were impersonating
Sandy Lynch.
Sandy Lynch.
Yeah.
That was a bit heavy.
It was very heavy.
It's actually a really good podcast.
It's a brilliant podcast. It was done by the second captains down in Dublin, who I had known not personally, but just because of their football stuff. Because they're massive in the sport. I think that's how they launched themselves. But it was my good friend and Damon's cousin, Jared.
Oh, Jared.
Who had Jared.
Mr. Jared
Jordan.
An excellent actor as well.
Yeah, excellent actor as well, my dear mate. And he was working with them, and they says, do you know any other wee Westies up there?
Right.
And he went, well, funny enough.
I've got this mate.
And
use your mates from you were like...
Yeah, well, I know, teenagers, Jared was a couple of years older than me when we were on the streets running about, so I sort of knew who he was, and I sort of knew, he does acting. And he did that user hole in the wall. So he was over the wall. Through the wall. That he did with Caroline O'Neill and a few others and all. So Jared back then in our area was sort of like, he's going to be an actor. Right. Do you know what I mean? So you sort of like, I was like, wow, is he? And then I was going, I'm fucking better than him. I'm going to be an actor.
Well, see, we had John Lennon in here last week, and we were talking about North Belfast, and North Belfast is brilliant for comedian Jake O'Kane, myself, John Lennon, Terry McHugh from North Belfast. Yeah. But West Belfast the actors that come out of West Belfast,
and the more that are coming now.
Yourself, you're talking Jordan, you're talking Packy Lee,
you've Jared, you've Chris Corrigan.
There's a guy called Damon Quinn.
Chris Corrigan, or Damon. Chris Corrigan's flying at the minute.
What is it? What's going on?
I don't know what exactly he's doing, but every time I go onto his Instagram, he's in another TV thing, and he looks amazing. And Chris is a brilliant actor. Yes. So you've loads of good actors, and then we've got the magnificent, who might fucking go on to be bigger than us all. Anthony Boyle.
Oh yes.
Who I say just come on to. I was saying
Marty McCann.
Massive Marty's class. But Belfast is. I said this. I was doing a wee chat with Sean McComb the other week on his podcast, and we got on to Say Nothing, the series.
Yes.
And I watched that, and usually when you watch stuff that you're not in, you watch it like that. You know what I mean? And I watched about the first 3 minutes of that like that, and then I went, that's brilliant. And I was so, I know it sounds really cheesy, but I was really proud that it was from here, and it was done by talent. Even the directors, the casting, the producers. I know Disney were involved, but they had a lot of local people
liked it. I really
involved.
Liked it.
And I was going, well, that's like, look at Anthony, Lola, we Ran McParland. I'm missing loads of them. The girl that did Marion Price, I forget her name, Hazel. They were amazing. I was going, that's world class drama. On our Jared, who was brilliant, who had a lovely scene with Maxine Peake,
Our friend Bernadette Brown.
That was brilliant in it, playing that sort of evil wee neighbour that you would never put Bernie as. She was class.
No, I really liked it. Now, it was an American's version of our history.
But we never like stuff done about here.
But I did enjoy
that much. We'll always pick at it. We always do that. It's like once you hear, and people have done, and I even done it, that like Maxine Peake didn't sound exactly like Dollar's Price did.
No.
So people are picking at that.
Yeah,
and you're going, relax.
Well, the two guys playing Jerry Adams were brilliant. Both of them.
Absolutely.
Were very good.
And what a hard role to convince us as well.
Yes.
Because he's such a... We've watched him for years, everybody's impersonated Jerry.
Yes. You know what I mean? We've all done our...
You know what I mean?
We've got a bit better, haven't we?
No, I was never a member.
I don't know, have you?
We've got a bit better. We used to go, all right, he's run up Cooper Street and now he's on the Antrim Road. No, this isn't working for me,
Yeah.
We had Trevor Burnian, who's produced Kneecap. Have you seen Kneecap?
Yep. I haven't seen this film yet, but my 13-year-old son has.
Right.
Which assured me it's brilliant, and I was like, "How did you get to see that?" But
your 13-year-old son. There's a lot of drugs and
sex. I know.
That's
the he watched it at a sleepover the other week. He came back and told me, and I was like, "Brilliant."
Well,
but God knows what they're watching now, Tim, with those phones and Kane.
My cousin Jared, you know what it was like?
Yes.
Because we get all the actors from West Belfast, but I used to say to Jared, you know what? I'm sick of seeing you getting shot. Everything you're in, But
you're
in it for 5 minutes and then you get shot.
He dies well.
Yes,
he does. He dies very well.
I've seen him plugged in.
He dies very well. Who was telling that?
What sort of death do you want here? You want dramatic death?
It was actually Marty. I seen a clip of Marty McCann saying a story the other week about when he was auditioning for the big Spielberg thing he'd done, and how they cast stuntmen was your ability to just drop to the floor when they said you're shot.
Yes.
He was telling some funny story about a guy that wouldn't fall, but Jared dies very well. He's like a great
But
stuntman.
in saying nothing, he didn't get shot. He
Well,
threatened to shoot somebody.
yeah, that's
was
spoiled
kind
it for everyone.
He's moved.
You spoiled it for everyone now.
You know.
Yeah, that's it. You've spoiled it. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. But no, he doesn't. It's the only thing he survived then.
You got into acting very early because we go out and about and we were all over the place with Give Me Headpiece tour and stuff. And the number of people who say, "Do you pulling moves?" Even 20. That was 21 years. 2004.
Yeah, 2003.
Was that your first ever gig? Was it?
No.
You
No.
were must have been a child actor.
I'd won a BAFTA
You were
before
a
that
child.
time. No, I did the first gig I did was in the Opera House with
Right.
Frank Finlay and Toya Wilcox. My ma seen an advertisement in the paper, and I went and auditioned, and they cast like 6 of us that day, so that was me hooked.
Toya
once.
Wilcox.
Yeah, Toya
Wow.
Wilcox and Frank Finlay. And it was Peter
It's
Pan.
a mystery, you know.
We all played, we all played Lost Boys. And then I went to the Arts Theatre with the brilliant Peter Quigley, God rest him. And Peter was class for us as kids. He was really brilliant at just explaining theatre, especially for a wee lad like me.
What age were you
I was
then?
12.
12?
Yeah, and
Wow.
you were
So
like,
you got the
weighing-
bug of that.
And I was weighing it and going, well, what's crack? Give us that script. Hadn't a clue. Do you know what I mean? And I remember like Marty Ray, another actor who's based in Dublin
Marty
now,
Ray,
brilliant actor.
yeah.
And Marty sat with me one day for like an hour explaining to me just how to understand like Shakespeare better.
Yeah.
I know just how to like break and find clues of who your character is, and just be like the Arts Theatre was amazing for me. And then I did Custer's Last Stand Up, which was a kids TV series.
Yes.
Which is the best time ever, and we won a kids BAFTA for that.
Oh.
Yeah, I danced with Kat Deely at the BAFTAs.
Oh, wow.
Never forget it. Thought it was class. Yeah. And then she
Paddy
probably,
Keelty went and
she
married
probably
her?
doesn't remember that. Yeah, yeah. Maybe I put her on to the Northern Irish man. You know, maybe that's when she heard the accent. When I need to find somebody my age, I was too young for her. But
She couldn't have you. She's got the next best thing.
this is it. This is it. You know, yeah. He's
But
the next best
you're
thing.
the youngest member of the Give Me Headpiece cast.
I am.
And you go way
Jim.
back. Like you're a youngster, but what age are you now? But we regard you as a youngster.
Thanks. I'll be 40 in June.
Oh, is there a party in June?
That
There's
is
a
a
party in
youngster.
June. Aye. It's in Lanzarote, like, but so you're welcome to come if you
No,
want.
well, you can have it in Pug Uglies.
We could.
You can have it
We-
upstairs in
yes,
Pug
well,
Uglies.
well, we'll have the after party.
We'll have an after party.
We'll have an after party.
Oh,
when
we're
I'm back
invited to
here.
Lanzarote, aren't we?
Absolutely, mate. Come along.
brilliant.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Villa. Rooms everywhere. Let's go. Bring your golf clubs.
So you're 40 and you've been in the business a long time, but
Yeah.
it's ebb and flow in this business, as we kind of know.
does.
But I mean, I
I
remember.
had a great start. I always say that you know me, like love football. If I was a Premier League footballer to come on and got a hat trick on the debut and then thought happy days, that's me.
Yeah.
I'd be like Marcus Rashford. Thought he made it when he was young.
Right.
Did you not say to me once that you were up for Harry Potter?
Yeah, well, up for it's a bit of a. They didn't phone me and say we want to see him. So what happened was Pippa Hall was the girl that cast Custer's Last Stand Up, and I was like 15 when that happened. It was like the year 2000. They were just going into production for the Potters. The books were the biggest thing in the world and all this. And in the room, Pippa looked at me and she went, "Wow, you'd be brilliant for Harry Potter." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Wow, I'll copy
This
this."
would make an excellent.
actually-
I looked well
Harry
for it,
Potter.
and I wasn't a bad actor, so you know I could have pulled it off. But she put me on a tape. She got me to read a wee thing. They sent it over to the big casting directors in London, and they came back on. The kid is great, very good. He looks brilliant. He would be wonderful. We'd love to explore him more, but he's far too tall. Because I was always a big lank, so
Right.
and they knew like you know it would have been. So they just went no, just
tall?
just let him rip. Now there was never an offer, and they pulled it back or anything,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
that
But
far.
do you dwell on that possibly missed out
I
on
did
Harry
when I was
Potter?
16 for about 2 weeks, going fuck me. But I sort of think the way I grew up, I don't think being a millionaire would have agreed with 19-year-old Ciaran.
Maybe not.
I don't know if we'd have got the 23-year-old
There's
Ciaran
there's
if I had been a millionaire. You know what I mean?
There's an actor called Lewis Collins who did The Professionals. If you probably before your time,
Yeah.
he did with he was Bodie in The Professionals,
Bodie and Doyle.
along with Martin Shaw.
Uh-huh.
But he missed out on two big things in his acting career.
Yeah.
Well, one was a musical career. He missed out on being in the Beatles.
Jesus.
He was mates with Paul McCartney's older brother.
Wow.
And when the Beatles sacked Pete Best, they wanted a new drummer. And before they went to Ringo, they asked him, because he was the older brother, do you know anybody who can play, you know? And he says, I've got this mate. And he plays the drums. And he went to Lewis Collins and he says, look, do you want to be in my wee brother's band? He goes, fuck off, your wee brother's band? I don't want to be in that way. So, you know, you and your wee brother and all them kids. No, I'm going to do it. So he missed out on the Beatles. And the next thing he missed was James Bond. Because when Roger Moore left James Bond, he'd done the professionals. You know, he was TV tough guy. And he had to go into one audition to see Cubby Broccoli, the producer. He was a bit of a hard nut. And all he had to do was just behave himself in the audition. And he would have probably got the part, but instead he went down and he blew it.
Jesus.
He pissed off Cubby Broccoli. He says, no, not him then. We'll get somebody else. So and he ended up retiring from acting. You know, he's passed away, obviously. You know, he's
bought a duck and it drowned.
Yes, he's passed away over 10 years. But
so he missed out on the Beatles.
He missed out on the Beatles
James Bond.
and James Bond.
I missed out.
So I don't want you to feel bad about Harry Potter.
I'm nice Sandy the barman and give my headpiece.
Well,
so it all worked out well.
I tell you what, I met him and I missed out on a fantastic legal career. I could have been a barrister.
Well,
you'd have been head of housing executive or something.
I do.
Don't feel bad.
You've been Sir Tim McGarry, head of housing executive.
I can remember one night when we were sitting in the changing room in Down Arts Centre, which you know is smaller than this, and you were telling me about the potential earnings of our missing member today, Mr. McDowell.
Yes,
if he'd have continued on
as a
with his legal career.
QC, yeah.
And as you told me, I just seen Michael going.
But I'm playing to a sold out Down Arts Centre.
As he was booting up his PSNI boots to go on as Billy the Peeler, I was like, oh well, mate. At least you're here with us.
Could have, should have.
Yep.
By the way, the show in the Down Arts Centre this year is already sold out. I'm sorry about that. But you can go to Armagh on the where are we?
We're there in Armagh.
We're there in Armagh.
The day before Paddy's Day.
Oh, March.
There. Yeah.
So but people still come up to you and they say two things: Man About Dog,
Pulling Moves,
Pulling Moves.
Pulling Moves.
Pulling Moves. A lot of people won't remember, but is it still on? Can you get it on YouTube?
You get it on YouTube, yeah. But Pulling Moves is really remembered up here.
Right.
And when I say that in comparison to Man About Dog, where if you go over the border, a lot of people will still remember Man About Dog. You know, it's much bigger down there because RTE show it all the time. Both written by the wonderful Pierce Elliott. Yeah,
Pierce Elliott. Yes.
Yeah, Pierce wrote all them. So I mean, that was probably the best 5 months I've ever had because it was all done on your doorstep, except for Man About Dog. That was done everywhere, but it was amazing. You were doing a TV series on the Falls. Everybody was really excited about it. Everybody couldn't wait for it to come out, and then it came out, and it was class.
It was a big hit.
So everybody loved it, which was really
it should have got another series.
It should have, but
it didn't for some reason.
There was politics, not Northern Ireland politics. I can remember. Like, you know the way the road is, you know, everything always gets back to them and us. And I can remember when the second series didn't get commissioned and you were getting into taxis and taxi men were going, I heard that's because there's too many fucking Catholics in it. And I was going, it's not nothing to do with that, but you believe that, you know what I mean? So there was always that there. But what happened was that one of the guys in the BBC got taken to an industrial tribunal and he was the head of that department. And then after that, a new guy came in and we want everything new. Right. Yes. So, which was his loss because he didn't fucking make anything good new for about the next 10 years after. But But anyway.
We've experienced like that. We'll not go there, but yeah, we've.
I was once at a meeting, and somebody from the BBC said to me, "You know what? You know, like we could do with getting our own Dairy Girls." And I said to him, "But firstly, you wouldn't have, you would never have made Dairy Girls."
Yeah, no, they wouldn't.
And he said, "Why?" Because your first problem would have been the title.
Yeah, exactly.
First thing would have been told is you're not doing a show called Dairy Girls.
Yeah,
and the other thing is, the next thing you'd be told is you're not doing a show just about Catholics and girls and a Catholic school. You need to see the Protestant ones as well.
You can't swear.
And the balance and all that. And it just wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, it wouldn't have. Absolutely. But Pulling Moves is a sort of...
It's cult.
Yeah, it's very cult. And
for those who don't know, it's about 6 kind of lads.
4 lads in a band, Pulling Moves, out making money.
Exactly,
and his cousin Jared run about being a hood.
A bit of crack.
And some brilliant actors. And it really showcased the talent we had as well.
What was his character?
Hooker.
Hooker,
not Hooker. Hooker. Yeah, Hooker. But no, we had the best time ever. Had the best time ever doing that. Like I've said it a million times. I thought that was it.
Yeah.
Because I did that.
Thought you'd made it.
And then I went into Man About Dog. And then I was like, even during Man About Dog, I was getting spoken to for other things. And then even I had like 4 months off. And then I went down into a meeting with Neil Jordan.
Right. And
I walked into the hotel room and he turned around and I'll never forget it. He turned around and he went to me, I was looking through the script and he went to me, I can't give you a lead in this. And I was like, Oh, really? Fuck, okay. God, whatever you've got there, mate.
Yeah.
And then he offered me a part in the room. He was going, what about this part? And he says, it'll be you and Eamon Owens, the wee lad that played the Butcher Boy. And he's like, will that be all right for you? And I was like, that's no bother. And he's like, you can get me on the next one. And I always remember, because I had a really good time with him. And at the end of it, he was like to me, really good, really enjoyed it. We'll do it again sometime. Fucking haven't heard from him since.
We'll get him on the podcast and say, what the hell happened to Ciaran Nolan?
But you know yourself, as you get older in this industry, you realise it is an industry full of promises.
You could have been in the board just then.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a story about, we started writing a show called The Show way back in 1989, controversial thing, right? And we wrote the part of an American journalist who was over in Northern Ireland and he knew nothing about Northern Ireland. He ballsed everything up. And how they cast that guy, right? The producer went to an agent and said, this is the old days, he said, send me a fax of actors. And this fax came through with 24 faces of actors on them. And the producer went, I like the look of him. And it was BJ Hogg wearing a bow tie. And he went, I like the look of him. And we happened to be in the room and I was going, what about the 23 other people in that? That's kind of the decision made about your life. I like the boat. Now, BJ, because God rest him, great mate of ours, brilliant actor and all of that. But we thought at the time, whoa, the acting, the chances go like that. It's so fickle, it's so unpredictable, it's so...
Some of the experiences I've had, like even, you just... You'd be looking at people sometime and you just go look at them and you go, you know I'm a human being. You know what I mean? Like it's phenomenal. Yeah. And in our industry, right, we have brilliant activists that stand up for great things. Yeah. And so they should. Like in all industries. But then you sort of see how they treat artists. Yeah. Not in a let me word this right, but just about your like I was saying again the other week about the no campaign that actors have now. Just let us know what's going on.
Yes.
Don't have a stringed out for 3 weeks going, I wonder, are they still considering? Yeah. Well, am I going to get this? And they're fucking 2 weeks ahead. They're cast already and you don't even know. So there is that. And there's sometimes you look at people and go...
And you don't even get the audition there in front of people. It's all tapes and send them off and you never...
It's one of the biggest changes from COVID that I personally, I've really struggled with because I used to love being able to go into a room and be me, before they turn a camera on, before they get you to read anything, go in and sell yourself. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I was always told that as youngster. Go in and sell yourself first and then let them know, because I'm confident enough in my own ability. Yeah. But I find as well that when I'm on my own, with a camera, I'm shite. Yeah, because I do need. All actors need directors and and whatever, and a bit of time and people to bounce off. And
it's also important to be able to read the room as well. I mean, you see the director.
The audition I did for Man About Dog, the first audition, I never read a word. I went in and spoke to the 2 casting directors, Shaheen Beg and another girl who I don't think works with her anymore. But I'll never forget it. And I knew walking into that room, I went, I'll get that part.
You didn't even have to read
anything? I knew it. I just knew. I went, they absolutely love me. So all I have to do is go in and read that part right. And the only thing that went, do you know Frankie McCafferty? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Frankie McCafferty and Mark O'Shea, God rest him, right?
O'Shea, yeah.
They were going to go either older or younger, right? So obviously Mark and Frankie would have been about 10 years older than me, roughly. The generation above sort of. And they got them to read. And they got them to read with Tom Murphy, who played Palsy, who has also passed away, God rest him. But I was in the room when they did that, and Paddy let me be in the room, and I can't remember why, and I watched them and I watched Frankie McCafferty, who, for people who don't know, he was in Ballycasino.
I was going to say,
brilliant actor, phenomenal
Mark
actor.
O'Shea
Frankie.
Was Shimmy the Provo and Give Me a Headpiece.
He
small
was,
guy,
and he's
brilliant.
For my generation, he's the guy in You, Me and Marley that's not Marley.
Yes.
Everybody will know from that as well. Brilliant actor, Mark. And I watched it, and fuck me. And I think it's because they couldn't find an older Macara, the lead, to go older. And thank God they couldn't, because them two I remember watching Frankie doing Scud going, wow. But it just shows you the,
But of course, with us now, with Give Me a Headpiece, you didn't even have to audition.
I didn't, no.
Well, I was about to bring that up and say, because we always admired you, and for some reason we go, why have we never had him on Give Me a Headpiece? And then we just, with God rest and the great BJ Hogg passed away, we all went, Ciaran, bloody hell. And, we've always liked your work, and you've always looked funny as well. But we've always liked you, and we always no going,
Yeah.
why were you never on Give? Well,
I think
you were.
I know that I had a sort of champion in the group that was in Damon's ear. A lot about me.
Yes.
My wee
Yes.
mate Paddy.
Yes, indeed.
Who champions everyone.
Yes.
So as you well know,
Absolutely.
like Paddy Jenkins is one of the
He
best.
is very generous that way.
Paddy
You know,
will
he's
put
always
young actors' names out into
Yeah.
anybody's ears that are
Right.
willing to. He's always been brilliant at that, so fair play to him. But yeah, so.
But you've done brilliantly for us. I mean, well, you look funny.
Yes.
I want you to.
Thanks,
I mean
mate.
that as a compliment.
Thanks.
But your timing is excellent.
No,
You learn words very well.
I do. Aye.
Your stage, on stage. If you haven't seen him on stage, come and see our stage show. Brilliant. Because you have. I mean, you just fit it in like a. You really fit it in, and there was no,
very easy
and you're
enough.
also nice as well. So there's no shite with you because
Aye.
that's very important for us.
It's
there's
majorly
no shite
important.
with somebody in the cast.
It's majorly important for me too. There's nothing worse when you're stuck in a room for 3 weeks with some
stuck in a bus
city
with
banker.
people going,
Yeah.
"Oh Jesus, I hope we don't have to sit beside him."
Exactly. There's nothing more, and we have a great time. We do. Our stage gigs
Yeah.
lovely. You know, and people would think it get us out on the piss every night, but it's not. There's lovely bus journeys, people
Yeah.
reading, people having naps.
Yes.
You're not allowed near the back of the bus, or Ali Ford will kick you down to the front of it.
exactly.
You know, stuff like that.
Keeping
you know.
Olivia Nash sober, and that's all you have
Keeping
to
Olivia, away from the bars is the biggest task on
Absolutely.
tour.
do. Are you enjoying it?
I love our tour. I
Yeah.
really do. It's I love working with users. I've said that before. You know, there's no egos. We all get
Yeah.
on. We have good crack. You look forward to the night in Derry every year.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's now like our wee
Absolutely.
tradition, isn't
Yeah.
it? So
Absolutely.
And the Derry ones love it as well. So I can't wait to
do.
go back up to Derry.
You were actually in Derry Girls. Were you were in Lisa's earlier one? Were you? You were in Lisa's earlier.
I was in the one that wasn't a success.
London Irish.
Fuck.
See, that's. I mean, that's.
I know, but
I saw London Irish. And I
London
remember the
Irish
time,
again.
Lisa
is-
McGee, sorry, just for those who don't know, Lisa McGee wrote Derry Girls.
Yes,
She had a
and-
previous series on Channel 4
London
called
Irish,
London Irish
yeah.
about a bunch of people who are Irish
which
in
was
London.
basically based on her and so is Derry Girls essentially based on her childhood, but I think that was sort of loosely based on when she moved to London. And I know a good few of her friends group like Brona Taggart and all that, and Chris Robinson and all. I know they were all in London when they were younger, so I think that's where all those wee stories came from.
Yeah.
But so I at least had done that, and again, I can remember thinking, happy days, this will be good. You know, Channel 4, Irish comedy. They had Ardal O'Hanlon in it and all.
Yeah.
You seen when they were trying to go, pulling in that old father Ted,
Yeah,
viewers
yeah.
to have a look and hopefully get a new vibe. And it read really, really well. Like, it read brilliantly. And the script was so, reading it, I was going, that's really funny. And on the set, I was going, I thought Kerr Logan was brilliant. He was just really prepared and really ready. Sinead Keegan was brilliant as well, but I just don't think it transferred on that for whatever reason. Sometimes it
Do
doesn't.
because I remember watching it and going, it was a bit crude in places, but I
think,
thought, do you know what it did? That it lacked charm.
Maybe that's what it was. That Derry Girls has
they
with
were crude
Granda
as well.
Joe and all that. And
It didn't have the same level of charm.
I agree, Tim.
And
You're
when
right.
I just
Derry
want to
Girls-
say London Derry to even things up. There's a lot of
Yes,
Derry.
sorry.
It's just it's the BBC training in me.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah.
Just balance it all.
This
out
isn't the
here.
BBC, this is the podcast.
Yeah,
You can say whatever you want. We can
exactly.
even advertise. Pug Uglies. Go to Pug Uglies, ladies and gentlemen. Have a pint there on us.
Come down from Derry.
Come down to 20% off your food when you say, give me a head, please.
But yeah. What were we
But
talking
we're talking about the charm of Derry Girls because I
Yes.
remember when before it even came on, there was a thing on Radio 5, a preview of Derry Girls, and these English people go, "It's marvelous, the most marvelous thing I've ever seen." And I went, "Well, Lisa McGee, I remember her from Derry. That can't be that good." And then 5 minutes in from the first episode, I went, "Oh, this is different.
a
league.
phenomenon,
This
yeah.
is different
That's
league."
global,
And
like
it's-
that, isn't it? Like,
Oh,
yeah,
and
mental
it
for
deserves everything, you know.
Oh,
100%,
absolutely.
you know.
And it's great. It's brilliant to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's it's done great for loads.
But you can't always trust what English people say about our stuff about here because, a lot of English people really, really loved Kenny Branagh's Belfast. I mean, quite a few of them said to me, "Oh, marvelous film, marvelous film."
My favourite bit for that was the because we had a massive baseball following on the Falls Road in the 60s when they were doing the riot scene.
Yes.
And your wee man hits he hits the baseball is it through the petrol bomb to stop everything.
Yes.
And you were like, oh, that's fucking cinema right there, Kenny. I can see that happening at the bottom of fucking
No.
Distillery Street in 68 or
No,
know what I mean?
The first bit is the main character is an 8-year-old Protestant boy from North Belfast called Buddy.
Buddy!
Buddy! Fuck off! Nobody's
Buddy,
called
what I got
Buddy in
is-
1969.
Ballings being in, for want of a better expression, wasn't he? Yeah. Buddy, yeah, we Buddy run the
So
boat.
you've burnt your bridges there. You're not getting into Belfast too with
That's
Kenny
fine.
Branagh.
I don't mind.
You're prepared to take that.
I'll take the hit, Kenny.
You take
I'll
the
hit,
highs and the
Kenny.
lows of
I'll
acting.
take the hit. Maybe Kenny won't be in mind. Do you know what I mean?
Because you haven't.
You're only 40, like.
I'm only 40. I could,
You know.
I could be bigger than
Loads
Kenny
of
this
good
time
years
next
ahead,
year.
yeah.
You don't know what's happening. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You don't know who's been on the phone to me this morning.
But this business,
Nobody
you
has,
have
by the way.
to. With this business, you have to just be open to everything.
Have to
and
be
just,
open to everything.
You just do whatever. You go,
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm Sandy Lynch being tortured by Freddie Scappaticci, no
Absolutely.
problem.
There's
I'm
some
Sandy
stuff,
the barman, yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
You
there's
did
some
a
stuff.
one-man show and
Yeah.
stuff, you know,
One man show, yeah, that was
which
another.
went brilliantly well.
That was,
wasn't it? I mean, that's.
I don't
people
think.
still-
I love doing that, but I don't think I'd ever do it again.
Really?
I felt I found it so lonely after a while.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're sitting in the change room. I love the half-hour call.
Yeah.
See the half-hour call when you're in a big show and there's loads of actors and everybody's the energy's up and everybody's getting ready and somebody's having a panic attack and somebody can't find their mic and somebody's doing this and all the rest of it. I love all that
Yeah.
buzz. You know what I mean? And in Man on the Moon, the one-man show, it was like Tony coming down and going, right, Nollies, that's you, 15 minutes. And you're going, yeah, happy days. Fucking happy days. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was a bit
Checking
it was
the
a bit
football
lonely.
results, getting even more depressed.
Exactly,
Yeah,
mate. You know what I
Jesus.
mean? You need to recruit back in. 2013, Fergie's still there.
That was part of the. I mean, I tried stand up, didn't like it. It just
Yeah.
wasn't for me. Just the exposure is too.
That's I was speaking to you
You know?
about that the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody
Too
said something to me
exposed.
a while
Yeah.
back about doing stand up, and I was like, I don't know.
Well, I like it. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I did a wee tour there, and I now know how to support act, so it wasn't
Yeah,
entirely
yeah.
on my own. But standing out there for 70 minutes on your own is it's a long
tough.
time. But yeah, which is a one-man play. I mean,
It's
that's
tough.
that's
Yeah.
you want an interval.
A play would be harder. One man play would be harder because you got to get the lines
Well,
exactly
it's
right.
it's the
Whereas with-
emotion
with
in
stand up.
it.
You can
It's-
improvise a bit.
It's
and
the
you can
emo-
See, and I
if you-
make it up as I go along.
well,
well,
there's a bit of
but if you make a balls up on yours,
Yeah.
you can
You'll know
they'll
who's
work it
gonna
in with
notice.
you.
You forgot that whole routine
but, like-
that you're supposed to do.
That's
And
Um,
in some plays it is like that. If you make a balls up, the audience will love it. You can sort of, give them a wink and a nod. Like we do it on that stage show,
Yeah,
let
yeah.
them into a wee joke and all that there. But there's certain plays where you do that, then you're goose and ducked.
Yeah.
And Man on the Moon had no room for that. You
Yeah.
know, if you had broke the wall, then it was game over.
Yeah.
So that was the difficult bit because there was bits in it that me and Tony found where you were saying really hard hitting lines, which were then followed by a joke,
Yeah.
which then killed the emotion of the line before.
Yeah.
So it was trying to find that balance in it, and I think we did by the end.
But
it
you weren't
was-
breaking the fourth wall, but sometimes the audience did, did they?
Oh, without
Sometimes the audience forgot they were in a...
Without,
What was
I
the story you told them?
I remember I walked out on the waterfront stage one
And this
night.
is quite a heavy play. And
Yeah,
it's
this
about-
is. Well, Jesus, the amount of stuff that I had shouted up to me sometimes. But it was the venues as well, because you have to remember, if you're going to go into a social club that isn't a theatre,
Right.
that serves drink,
Right.
don't expect a theatre atmosphere.
Right.
You've decided to go in there, so you got to be prepared for that. There, don't be blaming Nemans
Right.
if Mrs. McCann thinks she's watching Coronation Street in the house and talks to her friend beside her. It can be aggravating for you on the stage, but this is where you've chosen to do your show.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't know why I went into that point. What were we saying there?
Well, we're saying the audience kind of sometimes joined in, man.
So the waterfront, I walked out. I never forget him, and he was a big guy. And I walked out onto the stage. And if you've ever been in there in the studio,
Yeah.
the stage is raised, and then they've got the seats below. I walked out, and there he was.
Oh,
He's just sitting there like out on the stage,
No,
with his
yeah.
feet right up on the stage. And I can remember, like I couldn't beat snow off a rope, so immediately I went, "Fuck! I hope he doesn't get up and hit me here." But I just walked over and just looked down at him, and he just sort of looked at me as if to go, "What?" And then I just sort of kicked the sole of his feet, and he went, "All right," and he put his feet down, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I had a woman try to bounce up onto the stage and all one night during the
Was this to hug you or
standing,
to
the
hit you?
raucous standing ovation. No, but during the applause, and she'd run up and try to bounce onto the stage. I was like, "What the fuck? What are you doing?"
Were you like Tom Jones for a moment?
Aye, do you know what I mean? It was like, I'm sure if she had been better, I could have made a letter on the stage. No, but do you know what I mean? It was like fucking, yeah, do you know what I mean? But, aye, you get some mad things shouted at you, you really
Yeah.
do. But you know, You're great at dealing with hecklers.
Oh, you know me. Oh, the subtle put down.
Shut the fuck up.
I hate them. I genuinely. I just.
David, do you remember, right? I was so fucking happy with this, right? So we did the first year in the Opera House where I was on stage with you.
Yes.
And Tim was out, and I never forget it. You were on the sofa, and a fella held up his phone, because I was in the wing, and I seen it, and he had like a light on, and you turned round, and you went to him, you fucking turn that phone off, like dry as fuck, right? And you could have heard you could have heard a pin drop in the Opera House, you know what I mean? And then we continued on and whatever, and I was like, wasn't that the greatest way to deal with the hecklers there, but it was done. And then the next thing, I went out and I had that scene, if you remember, where I whipped off the house coat and I had on the Union Jack boxers, and I was doing the wee dance and all that there, and up in the box I seen a girl recording it. And I stopped and I turned around and I went there, you filming this? And she must have thought, fuck, he's going to shout at me the way you shouted at your man. And I turned around and I just went there, you're going to watch that later, aren't you? And she was mortified and the audience loved it. And I was delighted. I was like, I got them, but you didn't.
Yes.
I'll teach you how to do that, Tim.
Thank you very
Don't you
much.
worry,
No, I just think hecklers should be kneecapped.
Tim
So
does.
people don't know how
Tim's
to
best
behave in
way
the theatre.
to handle a heckler is to just to go, fuck up.
Yeah, no, you pay. People there what don't want to hear people.
Tim
in the
and
audience
Christy
shouting.
Moore.
Yeah.
You both deal in the
Yes,
same way.
I'm the Van Morrison of comedy.
Yeah, that's it,
Oh,
buddy.
leave
I'm
me
not
alone.
talking over you. No, you're just right. You are just right.
You've gone into directing as well, haven't you?
I have. I directed a play. Well, I've directed a couple now. I did 2 for Grames and McKee for
Oh,
Connor
right.
and Alan. I know you had Connor in the
Yes.
other week. The brilliant Connor Grames and
Aye.
wonderful Alan. 2 good guys. And then Diona,
Oh, right.
the busiest woman in Ireland.
Yes.
Yeah, Diona Doherty.
She's unbelievable.
Yeah, she's
So you
probably
enjoy
working right
directing?
now. Yes, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the new challenge of it. I learned a good bit. You know, I think if you do anything for the first time,
You definitely had it. I mean, when it just happened last year when Paddy fell down the stairs.
yeah,
Busted his
we
ankle.
had a wee.
And we were looking at it and going, what are we going to do? And of course, the usual go-to one was, well, all the scenes that Cal's not in, he can do Foster Begbie. You know, so I was Foster Begbie for
You
a week.
were?
And like we're getting into the
2
car,
nights?
into the car, and we're going down to
Well, you see,
do the show.
and what I think you overlooked that time
Yeah.
is not to give away your medical history, but Damon had a pretty sore knee, if you remember.
Yeah.
And I don't think he realised what Paddy does
Yes.
Yes.
when you come on. And I was going, there's no fucking
Yes,
way.
but we're just panicking. We're just
oh,
going,
we
we
were
got to do
totally
this.
panicking.
So we're in the car on the way down.
Yeah.
Michael says to me, well, how you doing with the lanes? And I said, well, can get through the first scene.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we get through the first scene, but after that, I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see what happens. And then he's sitting in the back and he goes, you know, I've been thinking. He's got the script. If you change that line to that line and you swap him in there and you
that's
give
right.
him all those, and I take a lot of those lines as my character instead
Yeah.
of
No.
Begbie, and we turn the whole thing. We can turn this. All he has to do is the one scene.
It was
He get through
like a
Yes.
It was like it never happened.
Yes.
Aye, it was.
But that was the director in
seamless. No, that was I.
Because you'd worked out.
Yeah, I did.
And we changed it in the car.
We did.
On the way
You
down.
and Michael changed
It was like a 1960s film. Let's put on a show.
Yeah.
We completely rewrote it.
Yeah.
You did a brilliant job for us, and
Yeah.
then we got the great Marty McGuire in there.
And the brilliant Marty, which was
Yeah.
brilliant. I got to work with Paddy and Marty in the same month, so that was class.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But no, the directing was good fun, and I had a really good recast in the show we did. Jane Weisner and Rosie
right.
McClellan, Joe Donnelly, and Mary McGurk, and they were all lovely, and they were. You know, they knew it was my sort of first big show, so we all got together as a good wee team, and I think we did all right.
And you're going to want to continue with directing as well?
Aye,
as,
yeah.
Are you an arty
Yeah.
director? Do you
Yeah.
make them spend 2 hours doing breathing exercises and pretending they're a tree?
No,
No.
I know. I sort
the
of
sound of your mask.
No, it's because that would do my balancing if I had to do that. Yeah, we very much played floorball in the mornings. That was the
Right.
only thing I sort of made us do was the game to get us going, and then no, they're 4 good pros, so they know what
Right.
they're doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was thinking if you've good actors in the room, let them be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Trust
So,
them. Well,
yeah,
that's, you know,
trust-
we
trust-
give you a script and go,
Trust your actors, yeah, and
Yeah.
just point them in the right direction if you feel you can. You know, I think that's what I've always liked from directors anyway, to
Yeah.
sort of have that sense of freedom,
Yeah.
and then go, no, try it that way, or that makes more sense this way. And
And is it mostly comedy you've done? Is it all comedy mostly?
Look, it
Comedy?
is, yeah, it is.
Just to be clear, the Freddie Scappaticci's podcast was not
was
comedy.
not comedy. Yeah, Man on the Moon is comedy.
Yeah.
There's no denying that, but there's great emotion in that play,
Yeah.
which I was really proud to hit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I felt that we really nailed that. You know, there's a pretty heavy scene at the end. that I felt we really, really got. So I understand why people think it's all I do is comedy.
Yeah.
But if I cast you as a serial killer, would you relish that part?
I'd relish any part, as an actor does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I know people that have not done comedy, but I know that if they did, but people just don't look at them as comedy actors. Do you know what I mean? An actor's an actor. You should.
Comedy's harder in many ways, though.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Apparently, to say the
Just the way
hardest,
we do it, yeah.
hardest thing is to make people laugh and to make people cry. So, yeah.
I got turned down for a part in Blue Lights.
You did? Why?
Got it. Well,
Fuck, at least
What
to
was
see
it?
me.
well, it was a kind of Paisleyite Christian pastor.
Oh, right.
Who was having
You'd be great at
having
that.
a go at the homosexuals, which is perfect for me. 'Cause,
You have that
it's
look
against
about you.
God's law. I do have that look
do
about me.
have that
So I'm waiting to see who. I'm waiting to
you are
see who
cooking.
done it. Who got
was-
for buck's sake.
Was it this series?
Yeah. yeah.
Probably
Have you seen
Ava
that?
Little.
What?
Well, they've got Ava Little.
Yeah, they've got-
probably got big Ava. Yeah.
Yes,
Probably got
maybe,
big
maybe
But you
Ava.
so,
see,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
but see,
yeah.
that's no, but to be slightly serious. I mean, acting and how we talked about this earlier about auditions and stuff. I don't know how the hell you do it, because I only had the
Yeah.
only part I've ever got is one we've written myself,
Yeah.
basically, stand up and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that. Go in there, you can go right. I do my bit, and there's realizing there's 10 other people who go in and do it completely differently and go, well, they probably were better than me. I don't know, but how the
Auditions,
fuck is your?
like I don't know if there's another industry in the world where you have
Where you have to deal with
what,
rejection.
12 job interviews a year.
Yeah, and you deal with rejection.
And that's at a minimum. You should have that. You should have at least one self-tape a month if you have a good.
But
busy
the thing about it
agent,
is, you don't even hear when you haven't got the part.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
well,
the thing.
Which is the
This is the thing.
at least if
But it's even feedback. I think actors
Yeah.
would appreciate that. Like, see, you don't want people to come back and go, there's a bit of a joke. The old agent, God love him, Patrick
Duncan.
Yeah. So Patrick used to have this thing where he hated telling you bad news, and all of us used to joke about it. Patrick would have said, they loved you. They really did. They loved you, but they just don't want you. You know what I mean? You could be going, right, well, what does that mean? You know what I mean? But he let you down gently. But I think, so there is that element of going, do you just want people to say, I know you were great, you just weren't right all the time, because that's no good. And it is a lot to ask a casting director to individually go through 50 tapes and give exact
notes.
feedback. I get all that it's time consuming, but I don't know, I just think there should be a wee bit more,
Yeah.
what's the word I'm looking for, care or
hug.
consideration.
What do you need
a
a
bit
hug
more
from the casting
That's
director?
just a wee bit more consideration for people in the
well, they could
industry.
tell you they didn't get the part. They don't have
could
to
do
tell
that.
you why you didn't get
Because
the part.
a lot
It wouldn't
of
be
them-
that difficult to.
As you said there, and as you know, you've done casting before, and as you with the story you told about BJ, if you do get a tape and go, he doesn't look right, and you don't even watch it, that's fine. Let the agent know, sorry for wasting his time, he doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Tell him, we'll give him a shout next time, hopefully if there's something comes in, and you go, sorry, fine, thanks very much. But the whole waiting around thing's bit shit on people.
It's a hard business, isn't it?
It's a hard business. Yeah. That's it. It always has been.
So surviving in it is the key.
Surviving in it is the key.
Your day will come, Ciaran.
Well,
Your day will come.
me and Jerry Adams. Let's just see who's
The
comes
movie
first.
will come.
The movie will come. Maybe it'll be about Jerry. You never know. Yep. Maybe
You're
it
a
will.
youngster.
It'll come someday. Yeah, but we'll keep plugging on.
Don't be like that. And Man United, do you go for and watch them, by the way?
I do go over and
Do
watch
you
them.
go
Tim,
for
yeah.
watch them?
I do. Yep, I spend my money to run about Mouseville, as it's now known, for
Right.
fuck's sake. Did you see the mouses on the pitch the other day? Mouses.
Mice?
The mice on the pitch the other
Is
day.
that right?
And there's people like posting, it's disaster, how long they've let it rot.
Speaking of which, Cliftonville are in the
Cliftonville.
League Cup final.
Again,
Yes. Do you know when it is?
when we're
Sunday
going,
the 9th of March. You think Sunday, that's great. We're in fucking Oma. Sorry, we love Oma. The Struhl Arts Centre. We're available for tickets. We're in the Struhl Arts Centre after the final. Do you remember the last time
I
we
do
were at the
remember the
final?
last
We
time,
beat
Coleraine, and then we
3-4-2,
went to Coleraine.
and then we had to drive to do a gig in Coleraine.
Coleraine.
So, do you want to go to the
I'd
final
go
again?
to the final again, yeah,
We'll
absolutely.
have to jump in a car and drive
straight away up the Oma.
straight
I
up.
might just bring a carry out this time. I'd arrive in Oma steaming. Just like
Well, we
crack.
won it last time. It'll be
Well,
worse if we lose. We're playing Glentoran, but we,
We'll beat the Clans.
We'll beat
They'll
the
beat the
Clans.
Clans. Yeah, they should. Yeah.
So that's it. That's Sunday. I couldn't believe it. I thought Sunday, that's great.
And then
We're
there's
gonna-
another-
surely
I'm
we're
going-
off on a Sunday. No, we're
I'm
in
going to another match in March, which we're off. It's the day before we go into the Opera House.
right.
Ireland play Bulgaria in the World Cup qualifier.
Rugger.
No. No, in the football. Sure, they'll have the Six Nations won by then.
Yes.
I mean, we'll have celebrated that already by then.
We
Tim.
will indeed.
Me and you'll have probably been for the trophy, so we'll be invaded again, like we usually are as big rugby fans. Yeah.
Ciaran, it's been an absolute pleasure,
It
my
has.
friend. Thank you
very
so much. That
lads.
flew. That time
It
flew,
did.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, thank you. You're a brilliant addition to the cast. We really love having
Thank
you. Come and see him on stage if you haven't seen him on stage, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a headpiece live. Thanks again to our sponsors, Pug Uglies. We'll be back next week. Can't remember who was on. I have no idea who's on next week. If you like the pod, subscribe, follow the links and all of that, and support our sponsors. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ciaran Nolan.
Thank you very much.